Hi, it's time for another junk journal flip through. It's Laura at Hyperstamper. This one is actually a custom journal, so it's not going on Etsy, but you can go to hyperstamper.etsy.com to see my other antique and vintage junk journals. And what's different about mine is that I don't use any commercial products in mine. I just prefer using my humongoloid collection of antique and vintage ephemera. So I don't need to use commercial papers because I just have so much of everything. So this is one that she had seen the Down Our Street journal that I made last week, and it sold pretty fast. And so she sent me to a website that had another one of these, and I was lucky enough to scoop it up for her. So she wanted this beautiful applique work around the edges, and I found miraculously some ribbons that matched the cover colors, which are navy, sort of a rusty burnt orange, and this lovely green. And she especially loved the little bicycling children. The poles, it just reminded of her of where she grew up, and I just thought that was lovely. So whoops, let's pull that off, and let's take a little journey through this wonderful journal for her. This is called Down Our Street. Again, that's the original first pages. This is the 1945 publication of that, so almost 80 years old. Just put some vintage doily pieces in there. And this is from the Nielsen Chocolate Factory, a hand-typed recipe here. And I love that it still has the stains on it. It just makes me so happy. Maybe she'll make something with this recipe. This is also from the original book here, Our Village. Lovely. And these wonderful children talking to the mailman here. Isn't that sweet? This is vintage flip chart paper. And this is from a 1920s children's book here. She likes birds and she loves gardening. So I tried to put lots of flowers in here that would remind her of her own home where she grew up. This is a really special piece because it has the home and the garden, and it also has flowers on the other side. And this is the teacher's book that she would have taught her lessons in from the 40s. So a very special piece there. And this is just a 1963 log from the Beacon Lodge, attendance log. Another lovely little children's page. She's under a tree here. And another page from this book, which is a lovely robin around the year. Look at the children looking out the window at the robins. That's so precious. This is also from the 20s, and that is a bunch of children under an apple tree picking up the fallen apples. And then these are some of my pressed hydrangeas. These are almost the last of them. So yeah, I'm happy to put those in there, and I made the little pocket out of vintage and antique doilies. More children's images here, and she loves the bicycle riding pieces, and she'd asked me for a hanky that had some embroidered flowers on them, and I couldn't believe I still have one. I think I have one more after this, and that is it, of the flowered ones. So I'm really happy to be able to include that for her. There's the other side of that Nielsen's Chocolate Factory piece. Look at this wonderful cotton here. Isn't that lovely? And that is vintage as well from the 40s. More children's book pages here, and some poetry about gardens that I was able to pull. So I thought that was fun. And just a really fun vintage recipe page. I needed some color in this book. And here is, this is actually from the 1930s, and that is a farmhouse with the gardens. I thought she would like that. And then some crocuses down here. And I found this 1930s photograph, which is a country house and gardens running all the way up to it. So I hope she likes that, with the theme of a house with gardens and children playing. More children's pages here. And look at this one. I've been keeping this for a long time because I'm down to just a few of these, and this was one of my favorites. All the little children on the teeter-totter. And this is from the 1800s. It's a stereoscope, and this is a vintage botanical page with flowers. And look at the old horse and buggy here, vintage sewing page, more of these bluebells here. Just a little vintage earring center on that flower there, vintage receipt from 1953. And this is a beautiful plate from a book, and this can come off, but it is from quite an old art book, and that is a scene in Paris. Isn't that neat? Now this is fun too. More little kids picking peaches from a tree. A 7-year-old happy birthday card. Isn't that fun? From the teacher was Vera Embery from Linklater School. I think she's going to love that. Another children's bicycle pocket. This is from my Antique Vintage Birds and Their Nests and Eggs book. I think she'll love that. More of these pretty blue flowers that she had in her garden. Another one down here of a backyard. Lovely gardens and trees. And look at this one though. Also another countryside, lots of gardens and a little village. This is from a different children's book, not this one, but I just love it. And you can journal on the back there. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun making this. I really did. And another little page I pulled up here with children reading books. This is just for fun because it's from 1953, and I just think it's fun to have some vintage people in there. And then this is also from the 1940s. She is cooking. And I made this little booklet here out of a children's book page. Just filled it with some wonderful little antique and vintage papers. More of that. And then this here is another page from this book. More bicycle, children in the garden in front of their house, journaling paper on the back, and a crochet pocket as well. And then we're coming almost to the end. Another fun pocket here, little children bicycling. And on this side, I have another one of these lovely gardens, a formal pool and box hedges. And that's a plate from a book, so it's blank on the back. Oof, and over here we have this wonderful 1883 page, Playing at Horses. And the little children back here. So I just thought it was lovely. I didn't want to touch it because it's so precious. And it's, 104 years old. So another botanical flower pages for her garden memories. And I put a little pocket here. I haven't slipped anything into it yet because she may want to put some of her own things in there. And then the original stamp from New Jersey school there. So I hope she loves it. I loved making it. If you'd like a custom journal yourself, just email me. My link's below. And don't forget to subscribe.